quaking, trembling with fear, dread, to terrify. In Freemasonry, what they do is they don't want you to actually die, they want you to be maimed. And they'll cut off an arm in a battle, so that 5 or 6 people have to look after that person. And that takes up a lot of resources. And they supply the resources after the war to rebuild the nation. And so this is what the bastards are all about. In degrees, it's 46.37. That's the distance from the Pentagon to Haarp. It's violence and terror. In nautical miles, 2784. Pain. Fetter. That's what I was saying before. They maim, they fetter, like fettering a horse. They can control it. The latitude of Haarp is 62.23 degrees. 622 is to take away, destroy, then restore. Assemble, bring, consume, destroy, filch, surely, take away, utterly withdraw. And then they come back. This is the hammer and sickle of Russia. Russia's behind it all. It's all to do with Russia and the Khazar Jews out of Russia. In Greek, 622 is Apollomy. This goes back to the word Apollon, which is the devil. And it is to destroy fully, to perish, literally or figuratively, destroy, die, lose, mar, perish. As we have shown in the Yahweh Asherah videos, Janelle and I were at the farm in Harcourt, where the tree had fallen across the road, blocking passage to the farmhouse, January the 12th in Australia time, which is ahead of Haiti and North America. So therefore we measure from Haarp to the tree. This tree, as explained, is extremely tough. It had no weight above it, and there's no reason for it to crack off, so it's a miracle. You could actually take any of those little splinters and ping them like a guitar string. They're so tough. You can't even drive a nail into that tree, it's so tough. It's hardwood. It's unbelievable. So, we have another miracle coming up, and I'll show you what that is now. Very small bit of tree. Could not possibly break off. It's about 10 inches thick. So the break itself is well over 15 inches to 16 inches long. You see it split up the side of the tree itself with so much pressure pulling down on it. This is a gravitational field. The angels organise this to pull down on that one spot and break it off. I've seen it many times. I've seen the reverse effect too, where my logging truck in Canada, when it was wrecked, was lifted up 185 feet and was floating up, crushed, and I was taken up to heaven, reminded who I was, came back, sat on the truck after it had already been smashed and dropped into the valley 185 feet and totally destroyed. It was brought up to road level. My driver, incidentally, was kneeling on the ice. This is my first truck who had caused the accident. He flashed around the corner and spun out and didn't bother to tell me that the ice on the hill was a deadly trap, and I went sailing off into the valley. So when I'm coming back down, I see him kneeling in front of his truck in the headlights, which had spun around backwards and the lights were pointing back up the hill, and I thought it was actually a loaded logging truck when I come down the hill. Caught me by surprise. Now, from Haarp to the farm and the location of a tree that fell across the road is a distance of 1266, and here's a miracle. 1266 is the cypress tree. The word cypress, and we're back to Isaiah 44:14, being the latitude of the eclipse on January the 15th above my home in Nell Street, and the Nell Street home is situated on a latitude that is 31680 kilometres around the earth, which is Lord Jesus Christ in Greek, 3168. It is David when you multiply the letters D, which is 4, A, which is 1, V, 22, I, which is 9, and D, which is 4. When you multiply that together, you get 3168. So here we have the house, you can see up where Dominic and Janelle are. Down by the lake and around the corner is the Asherah cypress tree on the farm, 1266. So from Haarp to the farm, and the location of the tree in degrees is 113.85, and in the Greek dictionary 1138 is David, which is what I just told you. 4 times 1 times 22 times 9 times 4 is 3168, and who can deny it? This is what it's all about. I am Yahweh and I'm telling you. So we have Haarp up to the right. We have the location of the tree and where it broke when the gravitational field pulled and snapped off this amazingly tough tree. So we have the 911 number once again, because the location of the 4414 latitude is where the solar eclipse occurred, or the annular eclipse occurred, and that line, when you take it around the Earth and measure down to the Nell Street address, is 9110 kilometres, so we have 911. Now, when we look at the pyramid, we divide it up as follows. From the gravitational centre point of the pyramid, the distance around it in days converts to 66.6666 years, because the base itself is 9131.06 equals 25 years, so 4 sides equals 100 years, so it's all based on a day equals a pyramid edge. So we have the width shown there at 66.6666 times 4, when in fact if we measured straight across the one face, it is 6087.373 inches, which is 16.6666 years per side, times 4 is 66.6666. From that centre point straight up, it's 3875, and that is the distance in miles from where I was born, Rothschild Avenue. There's the name Rothschild, only one in Australia, to the South Pole, a distance of 3875 miles, which is Comforter, which, as Jesus says in the 4 verses that speak of the Comforter, I will send the Comforter, the Father will send the Comforter, I am the Comforter. If I don't go, the Comforter won't come. So it's the Lord speaking as Jesus as Yahweh, because Jesus as Yahweh in the flesh is myself today, Yahweh in the flesh, speaking to myself through time. To the left, we've got the distance up from that gravitational point. We've just taken the line across 4927, and we look it up in Greek and it's 492, and it means to go along beside. So here's a line going along beside. To the right, we've got the entire height as the line from the top to that angle to the baseline, and it's 7391, and 739 is in Greek complete and make perfect. We see there at the bottom where the Queen's Chamber is, the floor level is 69.9 feet above the base level, and that base level is 699 feet and is the word Ephraim. So Australia is Ephraim, and it means Bethlehem in Hebrew.